cannot give you a recipe for it. But I took that 5 minutes to explain that to you. And good morning. Let us start the morning lesson. So today, we're talking about the pillar of emotional prosperity. And I need to explain what emotional prosperity is from the 5 pillars point of view, and mental prosperity. They're separate. Many people confuse emotional prosperity with mental prosperity and vice versa. The definition of emotional prosperity from the point of view of the 5 pillars are: we react to whatever we hear, smell, taste, touch, and see. So, our emotions are triggered by our 5 senses. Remember that. Our emotions are triggered by our 5 senses. So, remember that. Now, mental prosperity is the ability to recall what you know and use it at the appropriate time correctly. So it's to always be able to remember what you studied and apply it at work, what you are taught, and to apply it. And that it should keep going like this as you age. Maybe at a certain time you start losing that part of your mental clarity because of age and a little bit of whatever is happening to the brain. I don't know that. But what I do know is that mental prosperity is being able to recall what you have learned and studied and use it at the appropriate time correctly. So now that you have this information, let us look, because this week we had all kinds of topics. And this week it's emotional intelligence today. How we handle disappointments and how we connect to others. 5 senses at work here. How we react to what we see. Identify the person who has supported you, your resilience and your soul. I talked about calling Lisa and send them a 30-second video. The person who has you observed, that's always there. You're connecting with them emotionally. Sometimes we just take them for granted because they're always there. They're like those old slippers that we keep wearing in the house. And eventually, when the slipper trips and it wears, and we trip on it and we realize we need to give this thing away, and we say, we miss that. I miss that comfortable thing. So do not wait for one of your friends not to be able to recognize you. And that can happen because that person is young also. So those of you on TikTok who was going to say, I have time. We only have this time. This is why today is the best day of your life. Whether you like it or not. That's what it is. There is no best days that have been past or best days to come. So sometimes the friend that you just push that with that frustration and you lean on me. When you know the song Lean on Me? That's fine. But have you open up and touch them emotionally? Open your heartstrings. Let your heart open and let the heartstrings pull out to emotionally connect and say thank you for being there on the days when I don't know where to go. Thank you for supporting me, especially when I've made a big mistake. Thank you for telling me it's okay and that too shall pass. 30 seconds, a little video. Everybody has a cell phone. You could be walking You could be just in the moment you think of that person. You snap up that video and that phone and you go, hello, how are you doing today? I'm going to call her name. My friend Lisa, who is here, she said she doesn't, want Christmas present. Like we shouldn't. And I didn't know what to give her. But when we are together, we do some silly, adventurous things. Like for example, not last Christmas, the Christmas before, we sat with Santa. And we sent the picture to our kids. What happened was the two of us and Santa in the middle. We weren't dressed for it. We were just passing through to the mall and we saw it. And we have a picture with Santa. So there we did. We had this picture with Santa and we gave it to the kids. I saw the emotion in their face. I saw the joy in their face. They thought, they already know we're crazy when we're together. So they kind of, it was nice. But I saw that. This Christmas, it was out again. So we connected. I didn't know what to do. But I had some pictures of Lisa and I going to a restaurant called Bahamas something in a cold city. And we sent a note to our children that we found a cheap flight and we're in the Bahamas. And I can't even remember what they told us. But anyway, so I didn't know what to do, give her, and I didn't want to upset her. Although I still have to get at her. I have thought about it and I'm going to really get her. So emotionally, I prepared a book with pictures and I wrote a story about how giving, loving, caring, standing, supportive, listening for others. And when I am with her, how much she makes sure I get to do the things that I desire to do. And so much so, I had her try on her own Christmas gift. And she thought it was for a friend. So I couldn't give her, but I don't know, I haven't heard from her what she thought when she saw the book. It wasn't really anything, but I wanted her to have something and to hear what I observe and see with her behavior. So I am extreme. So I go extreme. You don't have to be like me, but you must send a note and acknowledge the people that are supportive, the people that allow you in their life, the people that let you use their five senses to feel better. So remember, emotional prosperity reacts to our five senses. What we hear, what we see, what we smell, what we taste, and what we touch. But we must tell the people that allow us in our life to do that. And that is emotional intelligence. To be grateful. Identify one person who has supported your resilience to keep doing what you want. And send them a 30-second thank you note on your device or a note and say, you know what, I'm sitting right here and I just realized my hand was there to touch the phone to call you. So, because I'll tell you something, I say it as a joke now. I always called my mom and dad at 11 a.m. In 2002, when I came back, around this time of the year, my mom had passed away and I was at work. And I can still remember how I did it. I used my right hand like this to grab the phone to call my mom. And then I realized, no, she's not here. She's not there. But I did it. I always call them every morning. So personally, now that my parents are both dead, I have no unfinished business with them. And for that reason, there is a tradition in our family. We do not hang up the phone without saying, I love you. It is the most uncomfortable word to use in the English language when it's not for a sexual, romantic thing. To just hang up and say, Colin, okay, bye, love you. It's hard to do. But if you get into the habit of sending these messages out, that might have been the last thing they heard from you. My husband's brother, Don, he died a couple years ago, and he always said to me, "Do you know what I have on my phone?" I said, "No." He said, "I have Brian's voice wishing me happy birthday and telling me he loved me." He said, "Whenever I get stuck, I play my big brother's voice." And Brian had a radio voice. Just so I know at that time he told me he loved me. So that's why it is a challenge for us to be emotionally connected to others. It is. But we need to learn to do this. It's important. When you feel, when a negative emotion hits you today, stop for a moment and ask yourself, why am I letting this emotional situation knock me down? Why? I can't control it. And again, it's the thought, right? But when we move that negative thought and we bring it down this way, and it comes out at the tip of our tongue, and it goes out into the ethers, it goes out into the universe, we cannot retract it. It doesn't belong to anybody else but us. Doesn't matter, and you said it about another human being. Even if they heard it, it still doesn't belong to them. Even if you say it to them in anger, it still doesn't belong to them. You are the planner. You planned it. You executed it. You chose the words to put together. And how do you expect it to affect another human being? It's only going to affect you. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. And maybe not you. But if you have siblings behind you, if you have children behind you, if you have grandchildren behind you, that becomes part of your legacy. Great writers like Shakespeare has taught us that the evil that men do live after them. That's your legacy. And then somebody might repeat the same phrase or words that you concocted for another person, not even knowing that you gave it to a person before. They didn't know that. And sometimes you still have an opportunity to stop doing it if somebody else calls you up by their bootstraps. When somebody uses their emotion in my presence to talk about someone else, and it's negative, I stop them. I don't want to be part of this. I said, no. You do not know what their journey has been that caused them to be who they are. We don't know. And that's why we have words like, but for the grace of God go I. If you stand alone and you do not have glass windows, then throw the stones. But if you have glass windows behind you, be careful where you throw those negative words and actions and thoughts and behavior towards others. He who is without sin, throw the first stone. Emotional is devastating, that thing. And yet, it can be so amazing. Emotional prosperity is one of our strongest and most effective way to success. You want to manifest your dream goals and desires? Then use your emotions. And when you say to me, Tessa-Marie, why is it I get all these horrible things happening to me? I often ask, What emotional intelligence are you using towards others? Which one are you using towards others? Because you see, boomerang hits you back. Might not you again. Mightn't be you. It might be something else. In some cases, it is you. And you cannot manifest your dream goals and desires. Because, you see, you're manifesting what you do not like. I want good for me, but I want bad for this one. I want good for my entire family, but I wish that family would have all their kids would, no.